Hi everyone, I'm Emilee Shannon and I'm back to cook for you again today. And today I'm going to make this ricotta and spinach ravioli, and I'm going to put in some roasted rainbow tomatoes, pancetta. I have some chicken breast here and fresh spinach, some onion and garlic just for some base flavors, and I have a little white wine, Parmesan cheese. So it's going to be a really great little entree. I have the fresh spinach added in because I like to put the vegetables in as often as I can. So to get started, I'm just going to chop these tomatoes in half and put on some olive oil and some balsamic vinegar, some salt and pepper, and I'm going to put those in the oven at 400 to start roasting the tomatoes. I'm going to leave them in there for about 10 minutes and then take them out. And in the meantime, I'm going to dice up this onion and garlic and get the pancetta into the pan to start cooking it all the way through. Okay? Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is get the pancetta into the pan and start cooking it all the way through. Pancetta, you can substitute bacon in for it if you want to. It's just kind of like Italian bacon. It's pretty salty though, so we're going to be careful with how much salt we're going to add to the dish because the pancetta is going to salt it up for us a lot. So I'm just going to let this cook and render down the fat, and then I'll take it out of the pan but leave the oil in the pan, and then I'm going to throw in the onions and let those cook for a little bit, and then I'll throw in the garlic. And I've started the water boiling for the ravioli. So when the water comes to a boil, I'm going to add some salt to the water and then cook the ravioli for 5 minutes. My tomatoes are done roasting, so they've been in for 10 minutes. I'll take them out and let you see what they look like. So I made sure to be careful to roast these with the seed side up. That way you can slide them off the foil and all the liquid is not lost into the pan. So I'll just set these aside and let them hang out until we're ready to put them into the pasta. So the pancetta was done. I put it out and set it to the side, and I put my onions in the pan with the grease that came from the pancetta, and I turned the burner down to about medium-low because I just want to soften the onions. I don't want to cook them really fast and get a char on them. I just want them to cook nice and slow so they can release some sweetness. And I'll leave the onions in for about 3 or 4 minutes, then I'll add the garlic after that and cook those for about 3 or 4 more minutes. And then my water is boiling now, so I will add salt, and then I'm going to put the ravioli in. Good amount of salt in the water. It's the only flavor that's really going to soak into the outside of the pasta. Then I'll just add the ravioli really gently. You have to be careful not to splash yourself with the boiling water. Get those in there really gently. And once this comes back to a boil, you can start to separate the ravioli a little more. Don't try to pull them apart now because they might break open. And when it gets back to a boil, you boil it for 5 minutes. So just follow the instructions on the package. Okay, so the ravioli are done cooking. I just checked them for tenderness. They taste perfect. I turned the heat off there, and I turned this burner back on, and I've got it on pretty high because we want the pan to get nice and hot so we can deglaze it with the Chardonnay. So you can use any semi-dry to dry white wine that you want to. I got this Chardonnay at Aldi. It was $2.89, so that's why I picked it up. This is the chicken breast that I have, pre-cooked chicken breast. I just roasted a couple chicken breasts in the oven, and then when they were cooled, I just pulled them into chunks. So I'm going to put that in there. Let everything get really hot. So when you deglaze the pan, you let the bottom of the pan get super hot, and all the little bits that are stuck to the pan will release when you pour the liquid onto it. So it's a good way to just get all the flavor into the juices and into the sauce for your dish. Alright, the pan's really hot, so I'll go ahead and deglaze with the white wine. See it kind of sizzle and steam up. Stir it around really good. to the side. We're going to turn the heat down to medium. And we're going to add in our tablespoon of butter. So I have that just cut into 4 cubes. Add that butter in. Then we're going to scoop our ravioli in, and we're going to put in a little bit of the water from the ravioli also. Get these into the pan. Go. Get a little bit of this pasta water in too. That looks good. Turn our heat back up above medium. Got to be very gentle with these ravioli now that they're cooked because you don't want to break them all apart. So, kind of get everything coated. And we'll add back in the roasted tomatoes and the pancetta. Get it all mixed together. Gonna put in some Parmesan cheese. Good sprinkling of that. That'll help the sauce to thicken up a little bit. Add a little more salty flavor too. Then the last thing we're gonna do is put the spinach on top. So the spinach cooks really fast and we don't want to overcook it. So we'll turn the heat off and then pile the spinach on top and then kind of just fold it in. Okay, so I'll turn the heat off and kind of pile the spinach on there. This is a half a bag of spinach and I just ran my knife through it a few times in case there were any really large spinach leaves, so it kind of mixes in with the pasta butter. And then just stir this in really gently, kind of just fold it over. It'll take a few seconds for the spinach to wilt, but it will wilt, so be patient. The last thing I'm going to do is just top it with a little fresh basil chiffonade. I just got this basil off my basil plant outside, so sprinkle that on last, and then put it on the plate. Looks really beautiful, all the bright green spinach, not overcooked, chunks of chicken, a ravioli, the rainbow tomatoes. So arrange that on there, how you like it. Really pretty. More chicken, pancetta. Then we'll top it off with another sprinkle of the Parmesan cheese, a little bit. And then I have just a sprig of fresh basil that I'll lay on there too. And that's it. The spinach ravioli with pancetta and chicken and roasted rainbow tomatoes. So all these ingredients were from Aldi. I picked them up this morning. This is a beautiful dish, so this would go over great with any type of guest coming over or even just to make for your family. Your kids will love this dish too. So, okay, I'm Emilee Shannon and I'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.